I wrote some conclusions about the HIF1A and hallmark hypoxia analysis. The transcriptional program that is activated by HIF1A is different than the hallmark hypoxia program. HIF1A is higher in the high-risk group, and hallmark hypoxia is higher in the non-high-risk group. As a second point, the hallmark hypoxia program does not seem to be led by HIF1A activation. That is because as we noticed in a couple minutes ago, the hallmark hypoxia gene set does not have HIF1A. Depending on how this gene set was generated, it used genes that correlated positively or negatively with HIF1A expression. So hypoxia causes increase in HIF1A and the improved survival through the upregulated genes and worse survival through the downregulated genes. So the next question is if hypoxia activation is also a HIF1A activated program. So does hypoxia lead to or how I guess a better way is how the genes that are activated by hypoxia are actually activated. Do those genes have a role in HIF1A increase? In other words, are those genes activated because HIF1A binds to their promoter regions and increase their expression? And the genes that are downregulated, does HIF1A bind to their promoter regions and decrease their activation? So I do not know the answer to those questions, but let's take a look here at the two gene sets that have hypoxia downregulated and hypoxia upregulated. So if we can copy the source line. The source line is transforming the downregulated genes in numeric. I just made them numeric, and now we can plot this. Oh, I need to load the library ggplot2, and now I can go back, and that's going to so high risk patients have higher scores of the genes that are downregulated by hypoxia. Okay. And we can take a look at, we can get to know whether that is statistically significant or not. It's complaining about this function, stat compare means. Let's see. Can also not find. I'll have to do a Google search to see which package this function is coming from. ggpub_r. Do I have? I don't remember having that. I don't remember having that here. Ah, yes, I do. So I need to load this library as well, the ggpub_r library. And let us go back to plotting the statistical with the statistical analysis. That's so the difference between the high risk and non-high risk is significant for the scoring of downregulated genes, the genes downregulated by hypoxia. Okay. Now let's take a look at the genes that are upregulated by hypoxia. We need to make the score of those genes numeric. Compare means. It seems to be significant. And the plot now. That's also significant, but individuals that do not have high risk disease have higher scores, higher phenotype scores for hypoxia upregulation. I'm going to show this for the hallmark inflammatory response. Individuals that are not high risk have higher inflammatory response, high inflammatory response phenotype or high inflammatory response scores. I need to run this chunk here. What this is doing is dealing with some sort of formatting in the names of the rows, I want to say, in this object, in the metadata underscore spaces object. I need to run this. Okay, I'm gonna skip the 4.5. I'm going to skip part 5 as well. Let's come here to the hypoxia relationship to age at diagnosis. I need to make this numeric. Oh, I need to run this before. Now, yes, I can use this line here. The maximum age at diagnosis is almost 90,000 days. The minimum age at diagnosis is 0. I don't know if this is correct or not. So now let's construct this age quantiles variable. The function entile is from the library, I remember that. dplyr. So I can now run this again, and then it's going to generate the age quantiles. I need to make the age quantiles a factor. And then I'm going to generate this plot. There is an error. Let me see if I can do it. It's complaining that it failed at stat underscore compare means. I don't know what the problem is. Let me see if it has the expected values in the age quantiles. Oh, not this. Yes, it does. Did I make it a factor? Yes, let me see. Yes, I made it a factor. Oh, let me then see what class is HIF1 alpha. This character, yeah, that I need to make it numeric. So I'm gonna say as numeric. And now let me come here and copy it again. There you go. So what this result suggests is that the younger the patient is, the higher the difference between the high risk group and the non-high risk group. And as you can see in the H quantile 3, it's not statistically significant anymore. So apparently there is a role in the expression of HIF1 alpha in determining the de the decrease in difference, right, in fold change. Uh, um, sorry, there is a role for HIF1 alpha expression in the risk category. In the risk category, the younger the child, the higher the HIF1 alpha expression in the high risk group. This is interesting, and it just illustrates how hypoxia or the hypoxia-inducible factor is important in determining the 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 risk groups. So clearly here, what this shows or what this suggests is that there is an involvement between HIF1 alpha, the age at diagnosis of the children, and the risk group. All right. Thank you for watching.